Now that the trip's over, let's break it down with the recap.
We just wrapped up one of our biggest road trips yet. A lot went wrong, but so many things went right. And today, we're going to take a trip down memory lane to highlight some of our favorite and not so favorite moments. So if you haven't already watched our road trip along the Murray River, you've got the whole playlist waiting for you. And it's a fun one, so enjoy it. Guys, we're going to jump straight into it. We hope you enjoyed that series. Let's recap it right now in what we are dubbing The Factory. It's our brand new office, guys.
We finally moved into our new place. It has been hectic, but we're really excited for this recap. So let's go. So first things first, our expectations versus reality.
Oh my God. I thought it was going to be so much colder and wetter than it actually was, because if you guys have seen any of our other series before this, summer rained on us the whole time. Like, summer was freezing for us.
It was a cold summer for us. I really did not expect the weather to be as nice as it was for a lot of the trip. Don't get me wrong, we had cold mornings. There were, like, we had cold days, we had cold nights. Like, it was 1 degree one night. Like
the nights were cold. The wind was cold, the morning frost was there, but just during the middle of the day, like the sun.
It felt more like summer than our summer series.
What did you expect of the roads that we were gonna hit?
The roads were not as bad as I expected.
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy. But I expected us to hit so many more campsites that were completely closed, and like we did hit a lot, but I expected to hit way more because of the research that I had done, and like so many people on Wiki Camps are saying like Murray River don't go, like everything's closed, like the roads are damaged, and they were. But we still got so many lucky bounces. I didn't expect us to get that lucky.
Yeah, I guess I expected the roads to be undrivable.
Yeah.
And because they were drivable, I didn't expect the amount of damage that was done to the van on the corrugated roads.
Yeah.
So it was like not as bad as I expected, but also sort of worse in a way. Because the van copped it.
Yeah, I agree. When I say like I expected it for the Murray River. When we went to Mungo, I did not expect any of that.
Yeah.
So that completely like blindsided me. I don't know. I thought it would just be like pavement.
I don't know. Well, I expected it to be dirt roads, but it's a tourist destination. So I expected it to be a drivable dirt road.
I didn't expect it to be like, this is gonna ruin your van.
And also, if it starts raining, you're stuck out here. Like, that's how bad the road is.
It's a dry service only road. Like, I did not expect that. So yeah, that was a bit much. We made it through with the van, just made it through. We literally need to like spend like a couple weeks just to repair. The whole kitchen fell apart. There's just a lot of, we have a whole list.
When I say it fell apart, guys, if you watched our van series build, you know we used metal on our van. The screws snapped from metal to metal. It was shaking the frame that badly.
It was bad.
The screws snapped. That's how bad it is.
So what was our highlight of the trip?
This is gonna sound wild because it was so early in the trip. When we saw that awesome waterfall.
Oh yeah.
And then we walked down there, and for some reason the sun came out and we could swim in it.
Yeah. I honestly could have spent all day there. Like if we just spent a week in Beechworth, I would have been happy.
Yeah,
like,
Beechworth, man.
Yeah.
The food, the weather, that view when we were swimming in the waterfall, like...
Unreal. That is an unreal spot. Like, I was like, I can't believe that we're just passing through and we can't spend the whole day here or the weekend, or I was just, and people were just coming and taking a photo and then leaving.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, do you see this? This is just like the perfect day spot. Like, so it's already like easily one of my favorite places in Victoria. And we definitely have to go back, but yeah. So that was it.
It feels so not Victorian to me, because Victoria is covered in safety rails, and this is like there's swimming pools on the edge of a
waterfall.
Like a kill you waterfall. But anywhere else in Victoria, it's like...
Don't touch it.
Don't touch that. Yeah. There's a handrail there. This is like... Beechworth, never change. Never. Second highlight, if I can make a number 2, Lake Tyrrell took me by surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a big bit of salt. It doesn't sound that interesting, but go there.
It's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
We spent way longer there than I expected to.
Yeah.
I like had expectations of it because I planned it. I knew where we were going because I saw it on Instagram. He had no idea, so obviously that would have like taken you back. Like, but Yeah, it was amazing. It was like everything and more than what I anticipated, but it was just so breathtaking, and the amount of time we spent there, that surprised me.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, we have this whole place to ourselves. It was so cool. We were just taking photos and videos, and it was just so fun. Just I don't know, like maybe we're just weird and everyone else would have just like, cool.
It's just a lot of salt.
It's just the salt, but we just loved it there.
It's just alien.
Yeah,
I like
it was so
being
cool.
in those alien places.
Yeah, I felt like you were on another planet.
Yeah.
My highlight, when we were sitting on the riverbank and all the cockatoos were over us, I was just like, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
one of my favorite moments in life ever. It was just so cool. And then I went for a walk in the morning. It was just a really cool spot. And yeah, even though like it was next to the bridge on the main road, but I just like the beach access, like I
The
could
cockatoos
easily
were playing.
Yeah.
They were like coming down
And then the town's right across the road.
Yeah.
So you could like walk to a pub if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
wanted to.
or swim across.
Yeah.
Don't
do that.
It's very dangerous.
You don't know what's in there. You don't know what's in that dark, dank Murray River.
It's very dangerous.
I mean, we went in.
Yeah, but we're in the shallows.
Yeah.
Like, don't swim across the Murray River. Don't do that. But yeah, that beach was like stunning, and we were very lucky to get to it.
Yeah.
Because one more pothole, and that was
We would have
not
had
happening.
Whew.
So
There's so many moments that I would definitely do again. And I just feel like so much of this trip was just so much fun. Like the trip itself is a highlight of life. Okay.
yeah, it's one of those trips.
Yeah.
Because like there was the river cruise, there was the whiskey tasting, like
Yeah.
we would try and stop and go for a walk every 2 or 3 hours. Like just made the entire trip
Yeah.
so enjoyable.
The trip was the highlight. What was the worst moment of the trip?
The drive back from Mungo National Park.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know why that didn't even register. I think I'm like so exhausted from the moving. I'm like, oh yeah, that was bad.
That was horrible.
It was like traumatizing. Literally traumatizing. Because you're just in this constant state of like, am I going to hit something? Is something going to run out and run in front of my car right now? And you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the whole time. Like, our hands were hurting. We were holding on to the van. I was holding onto the latch. He was holding onto the steering wheel for dear life. And animals were just, it felt like we were like in a video game, but it was real life. And animals are just coming and you have to dodge them.
And we
like,
hit an animal.
Yeah,
Earlier in the
and
trip.
on the first night, we had already hit a fox on night one driving to the first campsite, and that was traumatizing. And if I had known that that was setting the tone for the trip, I would have been like, turn around. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Come up with a different series.
Yeah, like it was just crazy, and it was scary.
It was dusk. There was 50 kilometers of corrugated road through open farmland and bush.
Yeah.
That was an intense drive. And the only way that we were going to make it down before the sun went back is if we were doing 100 to 110k an hour. Like,
So we were just bolting down this road.
yeah.
And like that was the speed limit, 100K.
Yeah, that was
So,
yeah.
but it just, it was just so terrifying. It was so terrifying.
And we were constantly not hitting animals, but we were constantly driving along animals.
Yeah.
Like, as you guys saw, through the sheep, through the kangaroos, through goats. Like,
Yeah.
it was constant.
There was literally pockets of the road where farmers just had open access farmland. So there was no gates to block the animals. It was just free range. And I have never seen anything like that before in my life. So I was like, whoa, 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 what do you mean? These sheep can just cross the road at any time and the farmer's nowhere to be found? I would like, I don't know, man. I'm not here to judge, but that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Mate, you wanted free range food, you got it.
I do love my free range eggs.
What was your favorite campsite though?
Cockatoos. It was the cockatoos. Who are we kidding? It was the cockatoos. They'll win every time.
Absolutely, same. Cockatoos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Robinvale.
Which one was Robinvale?
The one that we drove back from Mungo.
Yeah, no, that one is good, but it didn't have any river access.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm going to pick like my favorite campsite,
Yeah.
it would either be the Cockatoos, which it is, that was the best one, or Warburton Bridge.
Yeah.
Now that was busy, but if you got there when it was empty, it has a really nice, easy river to swim in next to it.
Very shallow though.
It is shallow, but it's good to like cool off in summer. That would be a cool summer chill spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be getting in that one.
Well, that's why Cockatoo one was the best one.
Cockatoo one was the best one.
Yeah.
Mulberry Beach on Murray on Wiki Camps.
On the Victorian side.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Boo. What was your favourite? What was your least favourite one?
The second one. When you had to run down the big hill.
Yeah.
And what was that one's called? Hiskins Bend?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hiskins Bend. I didn't like that one. There were so many like potholes that we had to navigate through, and the spot that we got wasn't actually like a designated spot or very clear opening. So I just felt like we were so enclosed. And like when I am in that kind of space, all I can think of is spiders making nests on the van. Because that's not an irrational fear that's actually happened to us.
That's what they do.
When we went to Lonsdale and we parked in we call it now the spider spot, because everything we put down had a spider on it after 2 seconds. Like even my finger, I got bit by a spider. I put my water bottle down because I was doing a workout, and I lift my finger up and there's a spider on the tip of my hand. Oh my god, sorry. I'm still traumatized.
You walked it off like
and
a
then
legend.
I freaked out, it bit me, and Doug said, go walk it off. And I was like, what if it's poisonous? Walk it off, and if it swells up, then we'll go to the hospital.
And it worked. It was good advice. You walked it off like a legend.
That was right before we started vlogging then.
When you were vlogging then, you guys will never see that footage.
No.
It got deleted.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my least favorite one. What was yours?
Not to beat a dead horse, but the same. That one or Balnarag campsite. Nothing wrong with it, but just a regular caravan park. We needed it overnight. It was just
basic. Yeah.
The problem is we stayed at so many great spots during this trip that if we have to pick a least favorite one, that one is purely because there was nothing special about it. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it, but nothing.
Yeah, and I guess like that's what you're gonna get when you're in one of those really like small towns out in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, that's what I expected.
Yeah. I was grateful for the shower and the washing machine.
It was great. So when it comes to Mungo National Park, I want to talk about like our experience, but I also wanted to give some tips for other people if you are thinking of going there, because I wish that I would have looked more into it before we did. So your overall experience of it?
Good.
I liked it. I just wish that we had more time to spend there, because there was like that loop that we didn't get to go around, because we had to make the call. Like, we're driving back to camp tonight. We're getting back to Victoria. So I wish we had more time, because I was enjoying myself from what we did see. But the drive up there alone was worth going.
Mungo is one.
Wait. Let me clarify that. It was an enjoyable ride. Seeing all the animals was exciting if I wasn't worrying about hitting them and my van breaking.
Mungo is one of those places, it's very strange because it takes so long to drive out to it. The drive is a killer, and if you don't have a four-wheel drive and it starts raining, you're stuffed. It's a very big loop to go around the outside of it. Plus there is a day tour right in the middle of it. So what I'm trying to say is, you need a whole day in the park, and you probably need a day to get in, and that's a 3-day trip to see Mungo not rushed.
Yeah, so like a weekend trip, which is fine.
But then if it starts raining and you're in a two-wheel drive, you got to time that well.
Yeah.
It's a weird place, but it's cool. It's worth it if you can get the organization down right.
Yeah. Definitely do a little bit more research than we did. So yeah, that would be my first tip, is to just do a little bit more research than we did, which is research.
Don't look for pretty places on Instagram and then just decide to drive there.
I didn't know we were driving into like a mini Uluru. God damn.
But this is what we do. Like, we go exploring. We see somewhere cool. We're like, we want to see that. Let's drive out there and have a look.
We'll see what happens. So yeah, we were up for the adventure. Yeah. And the other thing is, like, we didn't get it off of Instagram. We were following the itinerary from this New South.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, from visitnewsouthwales.com. That's where we found this road trip itinerary, and it was on there. So I didn't think that there was any like big warnings like this is a dry service road. Like, why would you put it on your website on visitnewsouthwales.com, on the travel site, on the tourism board?
And the government
sponsored website put this on there. and they didn't have any warnings, like, you should probably take a 4-wheel drive. Like, I was just like, oh, well, this is just a national park. Like, Grampians is a national park. True. It's on the list. And so I was just like, all right. So, like, I didn't think to look much more into it.
And the rest of the itinerary for that was so... anyone could do it. It was designed for retirees. Like, anyone could do that. It's golf courses, walks, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the extreme levels of that itinerary is like this, and then Mungo.
So my tips.
Don't go.
My tip would be get there early, or like Doug said, like either go the day before, you can camp there, and then enjoy the whole place, and then drive home the next day. Like, I would say a weekend trip would be good because you won't be rushed. You can take your time and you can just kind of enjoy the camping vibes. But trying to do it in a day is very ambitious and borderline psychotic.
Don't do it.
Obviously, 4-wheel drive. If you have a 4-wheel drive, maybe rent a 4-wheel drive for the weekend, and that would be a great weekend.
That'd be cool.
I would say bring lots of snacks and waters. There were signs that even said that, like, on the hot days especially, like, you just don't know on those kinds of roads, breakdowns can happen, so you want to be prepared and you want to be safe about it. So knowing what I know now about those roads, I'm glad that we had lots of water and food, because if something did happen to the van, and, like, sometimes you're not seeing another car for so long, so just be prepared. Be prepared and, like, have your car up to date and, like, have all the backup.
Roadside assist.
Like, roadside assistance. Have
assist.
a spare tire. All those kind of things that you might need in a car emergency breaking down.
In the desert.
Yeah. Just be prepared for that.
Oh, there's no reception on the way out there either.
Yeah.
There's reception there, but during that 50-kilometer drive in, when you get to about 25 kilometers deep, you're on your own till you punch through to Mungo.
So yeah, that happened.
Have a good time.
It's the wild, wild west out there. It's the wild, wild west. Embrace the journey, because it probably won't go to plan, but that's with, like, any adventure or travel. Just embrace it.
That's what makes it fun.
All right, and be prepared for lots of wildlife, because it's everywhere, and it's like things I didn't even expect to see. Like, I didn't expect to see giant goats with horns, like, and little bees.
The devil.
I didn't expect to see emus, though.
No, I didn't expect to see emus either.
Emus. I'm not a tourist. Every time. I'm not a tourist, Doug. I've been here for 10 years. I honestly expected to see, like, so many kangaroos.
Yeah.
That was what I expected. I was like, oh, there's going to be so many kangaroos.
But there were more emus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe some snakes, like, and we did see a snake.
We did see a snake, yeah.
And I just had turned the camera off. I did not expect to see all the emus. Emus. You're so amusing.
Thank you.
I was talking to myself. Also, you can bring, like, foods to barbecue there. There was barbecue on site at the information center. So if you wanted to have, like, a little barbecue and chill at Mungo National Park, you could do that as well.
Yeah, that's what I would suggest, making it a weekend.
Yeah.
Like, there's a campsite there. Drive up.
Like, go up and have
fun. Enjoy the stars.
And if you want to, like, go on the desert and, like, immerse yourself in it, definitely, like, look ahead online, book a tour, because you can't get in there unless you pay to get in there with the tour. So we didn't know that. And I don't know if there's any areas that you can, like, access in. Like, we saw that one spot that we got to, like, walk on the little boardwalk, which was cool. And what did we learn?
Emus can run at the speed of a car.
I knew that.
I knew it, but I didn't ever see it.
Yeah.
And when you see it...
when it's running alongside you.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Fun fact, I was bitten by an emu about 5 years ago on this finger.
Same finger that got the spider bite?
Oh my goodness. This finger's cursed! Because I was feeding the baby kangaroos, and it was like, mine! And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, little baby. I learned what a patty melon was.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
He thought I was going crazy, because I was like, is that a tennis ball? Is that a tennis ball? And he's like, okay. And I was like, I swear I'm seeing little balls on the side of the road. And then we slowed down to get some B-roll, and then I was like, are those watermelons?
Yeah, they look exactly like watermelons, except, you know,
like
this
baby.
size.
They're like baby watermelons.
No, they're a patty melon. I don't know if you can eat them. I didn't try.
I think they're tangy. My brother said he looked it up.
Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay.
We learned about some different whiskeys, and we tried some different whiskeys, so that was really fun.
We learnt what a whiskey snob is. If you think that a whiskey being aged for more than 10 years is important, you're a whiskey snob.
Yeah.
Because once the flavour from the wood is in the whiskey, it's done.
And as always on these trips, I just think that we learn how to get better footage, you know, be better at making videos, and travel better together, because traveling with another person can have its very stressful moments. So I always feel like we take more and more away from traveling together, experiencing things together, because it's always testing at some point.
Especially when you're trying to make a series at the same time.
Yeah, so...
Get to locations all the time. But I feel like this was one of the funnest trips that we've ever done.
Yeah, 100% was. And so, yeah, I'm excited for our upcoming series. So we want to know, what's the best road trip that you have ever had or been on? And who were you with? And where did you go? And what made it special? Let us know in the comments below.
And we want to hear your feedback, guys. How did you enjoy the series? This was one of our favorite ones to film. So let us know. What episode did you enjoy the most? What was your favorite part of the series? Leave it down in the comments for us.
Thanks. And while we have hinted at some travel outside of the van, as usual, we are going to be taking some time off after this series. Sorry, Tiff. I know the Wednesday crew hates to see it, but we are human and we need to take some time off so that we can keep our creative juices flowing and don't burn out. So that is very important to us, and we appreciate the patience while we take some time away between series.
It won't be long, guys. We have the next things planned. But don't worry, we will be back soon. We're gonna squeeze in a little detour to try some delicious food around Melbourne before our next trip.
I can't wait. So we will see you soon with all the deliciousness. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and we will see you stuffing our faces.
Bye! Done.
Ow, my finger's stuck in the thing. Ow. Ow.